Most best 9mm pistol lists are a joke. They all pull from the same country and act like the rest of the world doesn't exist. That never made sense to me. You're telling me the US, Germany, Italy, Croatia, Turkey, all building pistols, and only one place got it right, so I stopped buying that. This is 7 best 9mm pistols from around the world, but not the way you've seen it before. Instead of another list, I turned it into a global test. I started putting the best 9mm pistols from different countries, head-to-head, same range, same ammo, same standard, no passport advantage. And that's where things got uncomfortable. I watched top-tier names fall apart under pressure, while guns from countries nobody brags about, and just kept running like they had something to prove. That's when the question changed. You get one country to trust, no second pick. And by the end, one of them makes it real clear why everyone else is still chasing it. Steel was already ringing when I walked up to this small outdoor range. Dust, sun, couple guys I shoot with who swear by Glocks and SIGs. One of them is holding this grand Power K100, and right away it turns into a joke. Look at that thing. What is that? Some Eastern European science project? That big rotating barrel looked weird as hell. I laughed too. In my head, I already wrote it off. One of those guns that sounds clever on paper, but falls apart the second you push it. We started running fast strings on steel at about 15 yards. Nothing fancy, just speed. Fourth, maybe fifth run in, my hands were already getting lazy. Grip slipping a bit, timing getting loose. That's when it hit. Everyone else's front sights were jumping, settling, fighting their way back. The K100 wasn't, it stayed flatter. Not softer in some fake way, just mechanically different. That barrel rotates, eats some of that recoil, and the sights come back without me wrestling it. I told myself it was in my head, switched back to my usual gun, and instantly felt it working harder. That's what pissed me off. This weird Slovakian design I was clowning just exposed something. It's not magic, it's just a mechanical choice most companies stop bothering with. I don't trust it the same way I trust a Glock. Parts? Pain in the ass? Long term? I don't know. But as a piece of 9mm engineering, it earned its seat at the table. Why does this thing keep showing up? I'm not even talking about hype or recommendations, especially if it's made in Turkey. I mean, physically, different days, different people, different setups. And somehow that SAR9 Gen3 just keeps ending up in someone's hand. Nobody's excited about it. Nobody's flexing it. It's just there. At first, I treated it like a background noise. One of those budget imports that fills a slot when something better isn't around. You don't reach for it, you settle for it. But then I started noticing something. Same gun, getting passed around, different shooters, tight grips, sloppy grips, new guys, experienced guys, nobody babying it, mags getting swapped fast, sometimes dropped, sometimes not. It wasn't anyone's main gun, but it kept getting used and nothing happened. You know, no weird hiccups, no, hold on, let me fix this. No excuses. It just kept cycling like it didn't care who was holding it. That's when it got annoying. Because the guns people actually brag about, those got attention, got cleaned, got protected. This thing didn't. And it still kept pace like it belonged there. It shouldn't, honestly. There's still that hesitation. Turkish gun, budget lane, no real identity. Feels generic, easy to overlook. But if I'm being real, I never saw it give anyone a reason to put it down. And that's the problem. It's boring, but it keeps working. Italy doesn't win by being the newest. It wins by building shit that still feels right long after everyone else moved on to whatever looks cooler this year. I was standing at a table full of modern 9mm one afternoon. Optics cuts, flat triggers, aggressive slide serrations. The whole tactical checklist. The PX4 was sitting there looking old and awkward next to them. Nobody was reaching for it first. I didn't either. It felt like something from a different time. Something people had already decided wasn't worth paying attention to anymore. Then I started actually running the newer pistols. After a while, something started feeling off. Not with the PX4, but with the guns I was supposed to like more. They felt faster on the draw, they looked better, they had all the right features, but after a few strings, they also started feeling louder in my hands. More jumpy. More like they were trying hard to impress. The PX4, when I finally picked it up, felt strangely calm by comparison. Not flashy, not modern, just composed. Like it was built by people who already knew what actually matters and didn't feel the need to keep proving it every year. It's still not perfect. The grip feels awkward to a lot of people. Support is limited if something breaks, and it looks dated as hell next to current striker-fired guns. But that day, it made me realize how much of what I thought I wanted in a pistol was just this year's version of trying too hard. Italy didn't chase trends. It just kept refining something most manufacturers gave up on once it stopped being new. And if Italy wins by refusing to chase what's current, wait till you see what the next country on this list does when it decides to build something brutally practical with zero ego. Czechs don't give a fuck about looking cool. They build pistols that make expensive guns feel like they're trying too hard. Recently, I was standing in a shop one afternoon, picking up different 9mm and putting them back down. The P10C didn't look special. It didn't look special when I first picked it up either. But after a few minutes of working the slide, dry firing, and comparing it to the fancier options beside it, something started feeling off, not with the P10C, with the other guns. The more I handled it, the more obvious it became. This thing wasn't trying to seduce me with fancy lines, a boutique trigger, or some tactical personality. It was just correct. Grip angle, controls, trigger weight, balance. It felt designed by people who actually shoot and got tired of overcomplicated bullshit. That's what got under my skin. I expected another basic striker that would feel fine until I spent real money on something better. Instead, it made some pistols I usually respect feel like they were adding noise to problems that didn't need solving. Flaw? The texture is aggressive, support outside the US can be limited, and it doesn't feel premium in the showroom. But that day, it made me realize how much of what I thought I needed was just expensive decoration. Czech engineering doesn't seduce you. It strips the ego out of the room. But Germany makes the gun feel expensive before you even fire it. German pistols come with baggage before you even touch them. Expensive, overbuilt, serious. Like if you don't like it, the problem is you, not the gun. Somebody handed me an HK VP9 and gave me the same line I've heard 100 times. Just feel the grip. I hate that line. So I took it. Already looking for something wrong, that's where it got irritating. Not because it impressed me, but because it didn't give me anything to push against. Grip locked in. Controls landed where they should. Trigger didn't stand out. Didn't mess anything up either. Every time I tried to find a flaw, it just wasn't there. And that became the problem. I didn't want to like it. That's what made it worse, because now it's not about the gun anymore. It's me trying to resist something that keeps checking out. Nothing exciting, nothing worth arguing over. Just this quiet, controlled, yeah, it works. That's Germany. Not charm, not personality. Just removing every reason you have to say no. I still don't love the VP9, but I ran out of things to hold against it. The next one didn't do that. It gave me a reason. I just wasn't sure I liked what it asked for. America doesn't build pistols to win arguments. It builds the ones people actually carry. Cops, soldiers, regular guys who don't care what it looks like in a photo. They care what happens when it's on their belt and something goes wrong. The Smith & Wesson M&P9 M2.0 Compact is that gun. It's not the flattest shooter, not the cleanest trigger, not the one people pass around at the range going, try this. It doesn't chase attention. It doesn't try to impress you. It just shows up and does the job. That's the difference. Other countries chase precision, innovation, identity. The US builds something that fits the most people in the most situations without asking for adjustments or excuses. And here's the part people don't like. This gun doesn't carry you. It expects you to already know what you're doing. No extra help. No flattering performance. If you shoot like shit, it shows. clean and honest. And yeah, it's not perfect. Triggers nothing special. No wow factor. Doesn't feel premium for the price, but that's not what it was built for. America didn't make this to impress you. It made it so you stop thinking about it once it's on your hip. And if that's what good enough to trust looks like, the last one didn't settle for that. It became the standard everyone else keeps chasing. By the time you reach the Glock 19, everything else on this list starts making a different kind of sense. I remember the first time I stopped comparing it to other pistols and just understood what it actually was. It wasn't the flattest shooter. It wasn't the most ergonomic. It wasn't the one with the best trigger or the most modern features, but it was the one that made almost every other 9mm pistol on this list possible. The entire modern striker-fired world was built in reaction to what Glock did decades ago. Austria didn't try to build the perfect pistol. It built the one that forced everyone else to catch up. That's why it still sits at the top in 2026. Not because it wins on paper, because it became the reference point. Every time someone builds something better, they're still measuring it against the gun that made the category exist in the first place. The Glock 19 didn't just influence the market, it became the standard the entire industry still orbits around. Whether they admit it or not, it's still not perfect. The grip angle is polarizing. The trigger is nothing special out of the box, and it feels dated next to some of the newer designs on this list. But none of that changes what it actually is. This is the pistol the rest of the list was leading to. Not because it's still the best, because without it, none of the others would even exist in the form they do today. So after running the best 9mm pistols from all these different countries, it comes down to something simple. If you had to trust one, which one actually earned it? Not specs, not brand loyalty. Just what held up when everything stayed equal. Some of these pistols felt like originals, like they knew exactly what they were built to do. Others felt close, but not quite there. Like they were chasing something they didn't fully understand. And I'll say it straight, a couple of these still bother me. They made the list, but I don't fully trust them yet. That top spot, it earned it, but it's not untouchable. So which country actually got it right? I'm Steve, and something on this list is already on its way out.